so that is photosynthesis in a nutshell. Let's do a little bit of practice right now. So let's put it together. What I would like you to do right now is, first of all, copy down this equation, and then I would like you to label for the reactants and for the products, I would like you to label in which process do they take part. Meaning, we have two different processes that we talked about. We talked about the light reactions. I'm going to abbreviate that as LR. And we had the Calvin cycle, right? So some of these reactants are part of the light reactions. Some of them are part of the Calvin cycle. The same goes for the products. Okay, one product belongs to the Calvin cycle, and one product belongs to the light reactions. So go ahead and label those right now. I would suggest pause the video right now, take your time. If you need to go back to your notes, do it. But label them, and then start the video up and see if you got it right. So pause the video now. Okay, so if you paused it, hopefully what you came up with is that first of all, the light reactions do involve light. Okay, light reactions don't occur without light. Also, light reactions don't occur without water, because water is going to provide the electrons. Okay, electrons. Light is going to provide the energy. Okay, and then remember there's a byproduct from the light reactions of oxygen. So byproduct, and it's from water. Be careful about this one. Sometimes people get confused, but it's water that gets broken apart and produces the oxygen. Okay. Now there is one other product of the light reactions that kind of gets lost in here. Don't forget ATP is made by the light reactions. Okay. In fact, let's switch this. Instead of pointing the arrow here, let's say that water goes into the light reactions. And let's say light goes into the light reactions. And then we get out ATP and oxygen. Okay. Then, right, the Calvin cycle, if we continue our labeling here, the Calvin cycle is going to use, so I'm going to draw my arrow coming from carbon dioxide to Calvin cycle. It's going to use carbon dioxide. It's also going to use that ATP, right? And in return, it's going to combine those two together, and it's going to make our glucose. Okay, so this will be glucose or food, right? So that is all of it put together. Okay, kind of an overview. Now what I'd like you to do now is, again, I want you to quiz yourself. I want you to practice a little bit here. Try to remember where these two processes occur. Okay, so where in the chloroplast, that anatomy, does the light reactions and the chloroplasts occur? So pause the video and label their locations now. Okay, so if you labeled their locations, you would know that the light reactions occur in the thylakoid. Thylakoid. Okay, also known as the inner membrane. Okay, and then where does the Calvin cycle occur? It occurs in the stroma, also known as the fluid of the chloroplast. So the last thing I want you to quiz yourself on is, I want you to remember, or try to remember, how do we remember, what's our trick for remembering which part of the chloroplast the thylakoid is and which part of the chloroplast the stroma is. So pause the video and see if you can write down how to remember. Alright, so if you did that, then what you would see, I don't want that color, let's go back to red. So thylakoid, we remember that the thylakoid is, or are, the thick pancakes, right? Okay, they're the thick pancakes. And then the stroma is, yep, it's the other part, it's the syrup. Okay, it's the fluid. So we get thick pancakes and syrup, light reactions and Calvin cycle. Put them together, you get photosynthesis. Alright, so that is our video starting off photosynthesis. Make sure that you've completed your notes completely, and you're now going to go on and answer the online questions, the WISC. We'll see you tomorrow.